Hi, Namaskar. So, as per our last projections for West Bengal elections yesterday, in my first video, I'm here with my final projections for phase 1 of West Bengal and also for Tamil Nadu, entire state, which went to poll yesterday. So, before I give you my projections for 152 seats of West Bengal that went to polls yesterday, let me tell you a little bit background. When I say it's a vote for change, it is not a trend which has happened overnight. So please understand that the same Mamta Banerjee, who was seen as pro poor in her political journey till now, is now losing that charisma because in last 4 5 years, many of her ministerial colleagues, MLAs, and TMC cadre people are seen in you know rampant corruption. Crores of cash has been recovered from them, and the government is not kind of acknowledging that there is something rotten in the system. It needs to be corrected because that is people's money. So today her scenario was, when this election uh, was announced, was like maybe Manmohan Singh in 2004. Was he personally seen as a corrupt PM? No. But he won't let Suresh Kalmadi do what he will do for CWGA scam. He won't let Raja, stop uh, in a telecom kind of thing, giving licenses on first come first basis, not on inviting global, contracts or global, बोली जो कहते हैं अंतर्राष्ट्रीय. So that favoritism, that corruption, so he was penalized and he lost badly in 2014. I'm saying 2014, Manmohan Singh. So because he may not be corrupt, but he, being the head of the government, is not controlling the system in a way that should be accountable to the voters, the people of India. Similarly, in West Bengal, Mamta Banerjee is seeing more and more like very tyrannical. She is becoming so jiddi that if suppose some untoward happens, incident happens against females or students, and they step out of the university late night, and some molestation happens, something, she will say लड़कियों को निकलना ही नहीं चाहिए बाहर. बाहर क्यों निकलती है? She will not say my government is not able to control, or I have to look deeper into this, why this is happening. Because she will say whatever I am doing is the best thing, that is the perfect thing, and whosoever is kind of opposing it or finding fault with it, that person is wrong. So this election, not only the people who are opposed to her style are voting against her, even the shift, which is very very grave for her, is the Bengali Bhadralok, as they are called, because their biggest virtue, that Bengali Bhadralok, which is the elite, intellectuals who influence elections and who kind of create the Janmanas in the state. Their only biggest virtue is righteousness. So while they were opposed to BJP or any party who is playing the religious card, and that's why 2021 and earlier elections they did not vote for BJP. But now, when they see what is happening in Bangladesh, what is happening in terms of demographical change, since I have worked in Calcutta for 4 years, and it was in back in 90s, so early 2000. So I have friends who were, hardcore communist voters, ideology and all that. Even those friends are telling that ये बहुत हो गया. I mean, Hindus are being taken for granted. if it is not stopped today, the Bengali culture will be lost. So when those kind of people are shifting, it's a mass exodus from the vote bank of Mamata. So yesterday when I said that 5 to 6% swing, it's not 5 to 6% swing only. Please understand, 10% I told you is the voter which is deleted from last elections. That is in the first phase. Overall, it is around 12%, 11.8. So next phase, that deletion will be even higher, like 14, 15, 20% in some districts. So that 10% yesterday went away. And you can divide that, it is 80-20 or 75-25, not more than that. I mean, if 10 voters were removed from the list, 8 were of voting for TMC out of that, and 2 could be like BJP. Because of course there would be some genuine people who would have died, or who would have migrated, or double counting kind of voters who are listed in 2 constituencies. So those kind of genuine. So the impact will be that 8 people are getting away from TMC because of SIR, and then another 5-6 are swinging away from her. So it's a swing of 12, 13, 14%. That's why when she was at 48, she might come down to less than 40 this time, totality. And yesterday's poll, because that is little pro BJP, you can say, or maybe less Muslim populated, the way you like to put it. So there she might come below 37% or 38%. So in this totality, she is now being fairly and squarely being voted out in the first phase at least. Now coming to my projection, so out of 152 seats, I would say that let's treat one district separately, which is Murshidabad, 22 seats, because there the Muslim population is more than 50%. But rest of the districts will have a very clear shift of seats. So out of the remaining 130 seats, my projection for BJP yesterday would be 103 plus minus 9. 103 plus minus 9 means minimum 94 and maximum could be 112 for BJP. For TMC, it could be 49 plus minus 6. So between, you can say roughly, safely 45 to maybe 53, 54 kind of thing. And very few seats for TMC and left, though their vote share might increase by a couple of notches, but seat wise it won't be more than 2-3 seats. Maximum it could be even 0 or 1 or 2 in total. In Murshidabad, maybe BJP will only gain because it has only 1 seat out of 22. So even in Murshidabad, I have not gone into every seat looking at how much is the Muslim population and all. So overall, if it is 55 or 60%, there would be some seats where it would be around 40-45%. So there, the counter polarization of votes will happen among Hindus also. So if at all, BJP might gain only here. Against 1 seat, they could win 2, 3, 4, 5. And if they cross 4, 5, 6 in Murshidabad, then it will be a sweep-like scenario in rest of the West Bengal, you can understand. So when, like we studied in calculus, tends to, elections are also like that. When it tends to infinity, it tends to infinity. When it tends to 0, it tends to 0. So that is to be seen, whether that kind of massive shift is there. That will be indicated if Murshidabad BJP gets more than 5 seats or something like that. If not, still 2-3 seats. So I would say in totality there should be 106 plus minus 9. I'm just putting it like that. 152 seats put together. Murshidabad I'm taking 3 just as a this thing. So this is my projection, and I have given you for TMC also. Now coming to Tamil Nadu, there also I feel it is a vote for change. Earlier there was, 6% gap between the two alliances, as I put it, not only DMK, TMC, but DMK, AIDMK, but the AIDMK front and DMK front, because now they both are running with many parties this election. So there is also, it's a clear vote for change, because in spite of having around 97 lakh votes being reduced from a state where the total electorate were around 5.5 lakh or something. It's a huge reduction in terms of SIR. Um, so that impact, plus the still the voting percentage is much higher, like 85. And by the way, in Bengal, the latest update from Election Commission is that many districts have voted more than 95%. And the last data which they would have updated late last night or something. So in Tamil Nadu also 85% plus would have gone as per this thing. So it's a vote for change, but there you cannot say who will win very clearly, because the point is, even if suppose out of say 14 voters out of 45 or 46 which voted for the alliance have shifted, or 12 voters have shifted away from DMK, whom they have gone to? That is the big question. If they have gone to Vijay, majority of them, suppose out of that 14, 11 have voted for Vijay, then that gap of 7-8% is not bridged by AIDMK. But suppose out of that 14, 7 have gone to AIDMK and 7 to Vijay, then AIDMK will come to power. Say AIDMK front, Kismat depends on how the Vijay factor is playing. My hunch is people are saying that he might win between maybe 12 to 15% vote, but my projection is a little different. I feel that he will have some impact in limited pockets across the state. He should not win more than double digit, like 10-11%. I don't think him crossing that. And out of that 10-11%, mostly it will be below 25%, or 25 years of age, young population, bachelors, youngsters, first time voters. So those were not in last elections, so the first time voters at least. So that is an addition. So if we compare last election versus this election, the bigger impact will be SIR, and those people who have gone away from SIR, that majority impact will be on DMK. It could be 60-40, 65-35. I do not know, but that is the way to look at it. And so my hunch is that definitely it will be a much close election. Last time it was 66 seats for AIDMK and 3-4 seats for 70 versus kind of 160 was the scenario last time, or 156 or something. This time it could be much closer. So even the losing alliance out of the two will not get maybe less than 90 seats. That's what I feel, 90 to 100. But who will be ahead depends on the Vijay factor. If he takes away the floating voters more from DMK or anti-DMK votes, then AIDMK doesn't win. If he takes his 10, 12, 11% more from the others or first time voters, and the shift from DMK to AIDMK happens majorly, straight line, then DMK will lose. But normally in Tamil Nadu, after 5 years, except for 1 or 2 occasions, people keep changing to get the best of both worlds. So that way they are politically very mature kind of voters. So going by that logic, I think AIDMK should come back to power, maybe by a thin majority. But here, since Vijay factor is kind of an unknown factor, it could be, uh, a self goal also. I mean, in a way that it could hit the anti incumbent also. But I feel normally the voters are very mature. They feel that they just do not look for alternative, that I do not have to go for DMK, then I should go for an alternative. But they know that Vijay is not going to form the government. So ultimately, I feel more than 50% of the swing from DMK should go to AIADMK, and that should make them scrape past that 118 mark, which is the majority. And Vijay may not win many seats, but he will have a good entry, like around 10-11% in a first election for a new party should be considered good. And some seats he could win even 14-15%, like in north of Tamil Nadu, and some pockets where he is considered much stronger. So that is my projection. um, DMK and AIDMK will be much closer than last time, and AIDMK may scrape through to get a workable kind of majority, not very big majority. That is my projection. Let's see how it goes. So we can compare it, and if you like it, my analysis, you can subscribe the channel. You can share with your friends who are interested politically. Thank you. I'll keep coming back with more analysis in times to come. Thank you so much.